Here is the translation and review of our 6th unit in Masechet Bava, the second case situation described by Rava. Before we translate, I suggest opening up your Gemara to the right daf, and the right amud, and the right place, and finding the place. Maybe follow along either the first time on the video and the second time around, just listen and follow along in your Gemara. It'll make it a lot easier for you to be able to read and translate from your Gemara if you actually have heard it a couple of times while you follow along in your Gemara. Okay, here we go. Okay, so just a reminder again, we are seeing a case that is described, a situation described by Rabbah, and we are trying to figure out what exactly is the halacha for this case in different areas of halacha. So Rabbah begins with his situation, hikir ba. So as opposed to earlier where the situation was a person had a rock on their lap and they didn't know about it and it fell off and rolled away and did damage, or something similar like that where a person did not know anything what was going on. Here, hikir ba, let's say the person knew about it, vishacha, but he forgot, v'almad v'nafla, and he got up, and v'nafla, and the rock fell off. What Rabbah is discussing here is what happens when a person acts where they, in a situation where they knew what was going on in the situation, but they forgot what the situation was. And again, it doesn't necessarily require a rock and a lap and it falling off and rolling away. But what happens in all these different areas of halacha, if a person acts where they knew the situation, they forgot about it. So again, hikir ba, if a person knew about the rock, v'shechani forgot, v'amad v'naflan, he got up and it rolled off. And again, any situation where a person forgot about what was going on. Linyan nizakin, regarding the damages, chayav, he is obligated to pay. Linyan dal dvarim, regarding the other four things that a person usually pays for when they damage, right? Boshed, embarrassment, medical bills, loss of work and pain. Patur, he's patur from that. Linyan galut, regarding exile, right? Let's say a person acts in a situation where they forgot, a situation of forgetting, and they accidentally kill somebody. So, chayav, that person would have to go to exile, to Ir Miklat. How do I know that? De'amar kra, as it says in a pasuk, as it says in the Torah, bishagaga. The Torah says that when we're describing someone having to go to Ir Miklat, it says they killed bishgaga by accident. What does bishgaga literally mean? Mechlal, that implies the havele yediyah, that there was some sort of knowledge. So again, Linyan galut chayav, regarding galut, a person is obligated to go in this situation. Why? Da'amar kra, because it says in the Torah, bishgaga, a person goes to Ir Miklat if they killed bishgaga. Mechlal dahavele yediyah, that implies, shgaga implies that there was some sort of knowledge. The ha, and this, in our case, in hikir ba v'shecha v'amad v'nafla, in this case, havele yediyah, there was knowledge. Linyan Shabbat patur, regarding Shabbat, a person would be patur, and again, because they are doing malacha in a way where they forgot about the situation, which is not a normal way of doing malacha. Linyan Eved, regarding Eved, again, piluta the Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Rabbanan. It's a piluta, is an argument, it's a machloket between Rabbi Shimon Gamliel the Rabbanan, because again, here is a situation where the Eved was injured by accident, without intention, and Rabbi Shimon Gamliel says in that case, the Eved does not go free, and the Rabbanan say they do go free. Now let's go through the translation one more time, this time just with the words, fewer explanations. I suggest following along in your Gemara right now and just listening to the translation. Hikir ba, if he knew about it, v'shacha, and he forgot. V'admad v'naflan, he got up and the rock fell off. Linyan nizakin, regarding damages, chayav, he's obligated to pay. Linyan dal dvarim, regarding the other four things that you normally pay for, patur, he's not obligated, he's exempt from paying. Linyan galut, regarding exile, regarding Ir Miklat, chayav, he would be obligated to go to Ir Miklat, excuse me, if he killed someone in this manner, by accident, in a situation where you forgot what was going on. Da'amar kra, how do we know that? Because the pasuk says bishagaga. Da'amar kra, because the pasuk says bishagaga. It was done bishogeg, by accident. Mechlal, that implies to have leyedid. There was some sort of knowledge to have to go to Ir Miklat. The ha, and this, our case, have leyedid. There is knowledge. There was forgetting, but there was knowledge. There was knowledge in order to forget. Linyan Shabbat, regarding Shabbat patur, he is exempt from violating Shabbat because it was not done the normal way. Linyan Eved, regarding Eved, piluta the Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Rabbanan, it's a machloket between Rabbi Shimon Gamliel Rabbanan whether the Eved has to go free. And now let's quickly review the facts. So again, here is, Okay, so here was our scenario. A person knows the situation but forgets. What's the example of that Rabbah uses? A man knows, I should say knows, not know. A man knows he has a rock on his lap but forgets. So he stands up and the rock rolls off and it does damage. Okay, so again, this is the exact example described, the scenario described by Rabbah, but it's really just describing any situation where a person knows the situation, know what's going on, but they forget what's going on. Another example that a person could give, right? We've brought this, we discussed this a couple times in class. Brought this as an example. Was a light bulb inside a fridge on Shabbat. So let's say you knew there was a light bulb inside your fridge, but you totally forgot there was one. You knew it was Shabbat. You completely knew it was Shabbos. You just forgot there was a light bulb in your fridge. You're not aware of the situation. You forgot about the situation. So let's say what happens then, right? What happens if you violate Shabbat in that way, where you know it's Shabbat, you forgot about what exactly the reality of the situation, and then you violate Shabbat. That would be another example. But again, our situation is knowing about the rock, forgetting, and it does damage. So these are the 5 areas of halacha, right? It says le'inyan nizakin, so you're obligated to pay. And what was the reason why? Because adam muad lo'olam. A person is always responsible for their actions. You do damage, right? You break it, you buy it. So that's it in this situation. You did damage. Bottom line, it was because of you, so you got to pay for it. The other 4 things, you're patur. Why are you patur? Why do you not pay those 4 things? So again, we said you only pay arba devarim if it's on purpose or negligent. In this case, it's not negligent. You forgot, and once you forgot, you can't be held accountable. I forgot. Now you are considered to have done something wrong, and that's why you are chayav for damaging. But in terms of arba devarim, it's not negligent and it's not on purpose. What about Shabbat? You're patur. Why? Because again, it's not malachet machshevet. Malachet machshevet means doing the malacha in the normal way. But if you forgot what's going on and you act in that way, that's not a normal way of doing things. In terms of galut, exile, you're chayav. Why are you chayav? Like we said, because the Torah says you go to galut if you kill someone b'shogeg. And our case is an exact case of shogeg. Shogeg usually means I know what's going on, but I make some sort of mistake. And in terms of evid, there's a machloket, and there's a machloket for the exact same reason there was in every other case. Because the Rabbanan and Rabban Shimon Gamliel argue where a person injures their eved without intention. Rabban Shimon Gamliel says he does not go free, and the Rabbanan say yes, you do go free. And that's basically all the information here. Again, situation, 5 areas of halacha. Here's the halacha for each one of these areas, and again, these are the reasons. Some described in the Gemara, some described in Rashi.